This is my story, how I burnt out and how you can avoid it if you're a business owner, want to do something great in life. But more important than just sharing my story, I want to share my lessons so that you can build a business that doesn't burn you out. There's a couple of things that I wish I knew before that now I'm a little bit wiser. And the goal of this channel is just to give back and show you not just how I'm gone from zero to where I'm at today, but also the lessons that I keep learning, right? The day-to-day failures and wins, both sides, because that is how I can actually help you the most, is by just being vulnerable and sharing everything I'm learning, both the wins and the failures, if you will. I don't believe there's such thing as a bad failure. There's lessons in every failure, and that's why I'm like here and happy to share what happened. So a couple of weeks ago, I started feeling this like massive headache. And, headaches are normal, or they happen to everyone, so we think they're normal. But this one particular started like in the middle. I went outside to my left eye, and it started hurting around my eye, below it. There's like a knife to my eye, and it started swelling on the inside. And I noticed when I was showering and I would put shampoo that my skull, my head was also very like sore. And it was very sensitive to any touch or physical. Yeah, it was like all the way down here was very sore, almost like I got hit with something or burnt, or like someone hit me with a baseball bat. And it just got more intense. The headache didn't stop, and I've had a headache and I've had a cold. I still have it. Like 3 weeks later, I still have a cold, but the pain started going like to my cheekbones and my entire left face. And for some of you who may not know, there's multiple different reasons and issues and illnesses that can cause your face to go like almost numb, and some are more serious. And so it could like when you have a brain injury, or when you have an internal brain bleeding, you start noticing it a lot of times on one of the sides to your face. And so I talked to my wife about it, and she started seeing that it's getting more serious, and she got worried, then I got worried. I didn't Google any symptoms, because you never want to do that, because then you always think about the worst thing that could happen. But long story short, I ended up going to check it out, just to get it checked at the hospital to see what happened and to make sure that it's nothing serious. And we did some blood tests. We did a lot of different tests, actually, blood pressure, all these things, and all the tests came back sort of neutral. Like there's nothing really wrong, like physically. Which is good on one end, because it's like it's not a brain injury, brain bleeding. It's nothing like that serious. It's not life-threatening. But you have to take this seriously, because all the symptoms, and there was a couple other things like my legs and my fingers not going numb, but just like being tingly, and just overall like my entire body and my nerves, my nervous system, and everything started just breaking down. And so the doctor said, well, could it be from stress? All this sounds like it's psychological. It's like stress related. And I'm like, well, I am a business owner, multiple businesses, and there's definitely stress in my life. But I don't feel like I'm working. When I started my business, I felt more stressed, because then I didn't have any money. And I was working 7 days a week, even Sundays, like weekends, morning to evening, 16-hour days sometimes. And so, and it's funnily enough, when I was 19, I burnt out bad. Like for months, I burnt out bad because I didn't sleep like 4 hours and I worked like 18 hours. And that was like my first burnout. And I've heard that it's easier to get a burnout because your body tells you signs and it gives you warning signals like, hey, listen to your body. But us entrepreneurs, a lot of times we don't. And so it forces us to. That's why a lot of times, like even the last couple of years, I've been working super hard, then I get sick. Then I have to rest because my I get a fever, my body shuts down. And so then I get back and I feel better and I keep working until it shuts down again. I know, crazy and not smart. So this time though, he's like, what could the stress be from? And I was like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. Because I don't feel like there's a lot of deadlines. Like my funnel agency, I build sales funnels and I build creative projects to help creators and influencers monetize and sell their memberships and their products and their courses and masterminds and books and events, tickets, like all these things we build for clients. Like I've gone from being a solo funnel builder to being a freelancer to agency, and now I've actually also exited my agency partially, and so now I'm just the CEO and we have an entire team. I got my COO, she's also a project manager for the entire team. We got a copywriter, designer, everything, tech person. So I'm not involved in projects when I don't want to. Sometimes I'll take a project because I'm like, I really want to build this one. I love being creative still. And so, it was more of like the internal stress of like an underlying stress, like this sense of not everything is like 100% aligned. Meaning there's things that I'm trying, like my brain and my soul wants to do, but I'm putting it off. Like for example, I want to help other people than just funnel builders and freelancers. I want to help every single person who has a dream and a goal to do more in life, to become more. I want to help them. And I know that money is not the solution to everything. So I want to help them with with all areas of life to have a good life, and that's true freedom. My businesses, a lot of them are called like freedom funnels, and it's like it's around freedom, and funnels and business is just the vehicle to make money. But I want to do more. I want to help people live good lives, but I've sort of boxed myself into just being about funnels, and that has potentially been the underlying stress of not realizing your full potential and letting yourself be that person. Because sometimes when you put a label on yourself, like I'm this person, I'm a designer, I'm a copywriter, I'm this, and I'm a YouTuber, or when you say I'm not that person, I'm not that, like you keep holding yourself back and you feel like you're dying inside. When I had my jobs before I started my business, I felt like I was dying inside. And I got super depressed because I wouldn't go out and do the thing that I knew that I wanted to do because of fear, feeling inadequate, like I wasn't good enough, the risk that comes with it. But eventually, like everything got better as soon as I took the leap of faith and I bet on myself and I invested in myself, and I said, I don't care about what people think about me anymore. And sometimes you really have to like hit your rock bottom to be like, no, I have to go out and do this because this is my life calling. Like it's almost like a calling from God, not just a business. It's not just to make money, it's to become the best version of yourself and then share that with the world. And business, when you think about it, people buy because they see value in you and what you offer, and so therefore it's a service to people. So it's almost like holding back your service to people because of whatever reason. Could be fear, could be you're nervous, you're scared, you don't think that, limiting beliefs, like you don't think you're good enough. And it can cause you to feel depressed or burnt out because one side of you keeps telling you to go and do something, and then the other part is like, but not right now, maybe later, I don't know, I can't. And eventually, if you just keep going, even though you know that something should change, you're like, your body can tell you that, no, this is not who you are, right? So I don't feel in any way that I've had like the wrong business. I feel like it's seasons. Everything goes in like seasons. Like the first 3 years was just personal development of my career. Like I just started like reading books and everything and learning. And I tried a couple different things. I tried drop shipping. I tried affiliate marketing. I tried social media management. I tried everything. And then after 3 years, when I started making money, I switched to funnels and to the online space. And I started building websites and sales pages and landing pages and sales funnels for people like us, for people like you who are online entrepreneurs. And I love that more than like local businesses because they were my my type of people more, and I felt like the mindset was more aligned around like personal development and stuff. And so I felt amazing for around 3 years. And then I was like, everyone started asking me how I got the clients, how I got hundreds of clients, how I got the biggest clients in the world. And I started teaching it, just being like, hey, how did I get this? And I reversed engineered creative frameworks and started teaching it. It was never the plan to be a guru. It sort of happened because people wanted to know. And I was putting all my effort into creating good programs, and I started charging for it, one-on-one coaching and stuff like that. And I never shut down my funnel agency. I just always like built funnels, and like then I wanted the software for it. So we white labeled High Level to offer funnels that I built for thousands of people, which I couldn't serve in my agency, not that many. And I just kept building and building and building, but it was all like freedom funnels, funnel clients, funnel templates, funnel agency. Like it was all around funnels. And I feel like I have more inside of me than just funnels. And sometimes you have to give up good to become great. And I'm not someone who advocates for just scaling to boost your ego. Like I want to have a $10 million business. I want to be a billionaire. I want to have this because of the number. I'm more of an optimizer, I would say, where it's like this sort of like sensitive and self-aware person who feels strongly about things. Like, this has to be aligned. Like if I got a client and it's not aligned, then I'm not gonna take them on. I'm gonna refund them. If I get in a partnership and it's not super aligned long term, then why even do it? And so even with my investors and business partners now, we own a private equity fund, and we acquire assets and digital assets, email lists, companies and partners, and we grow ecosystems. And within that, I was also asking like, where do I fit in, into this? And so this is sort of where the lessons come in, because when I was super burnt out, I thought that was the issue. Like, I have to go small and go back to me being a freelancer and being creative. And maybe one day I will. Maybe 10 years from now or 5 years from now, I'll be like, I actually just love building funnels, or I love being a freelancer because I love just, that whole lifestyle of just traveling with my family and building sales pages and working with creators and helping them monetize, building digital products, templates, serving a marketplace of people just like me. And maybe that's something I will do in the future. So, but and here's the biggest lesson of everything, you never make big decisions when you're super depressed or super euphoric, like super happy. You're like, man, I just got a client, let me buy a Rolex. And you spend your first 10,000 on a watch. That's not what you do. That's not smart. You also don't make a decision where you're feeling burnt out and you shut everything down. Because like a part of my brain said, this is a burnout for you, and this is your time to start over everything. And I was like, well, that's an emotion. That's like a partial emotion. But I have another emotion that says, no, you did this for a reason. I have another emotion that says, no, you actually you love building funnels, and you love your inner circle. You love your students, your clients, your members. So like, what's the actual problem? And I started thinking about how our body and brain functions together, and how chemicals and hormones plays a part of everything. And I was like, maybe I'm not just optimized, and maybe there's a reason for that. And then, the solution was so simple. I traveled for almost 2 weeks. And the first week I did some work. The second week, almost nothing, just the entire week with my family. And I truly want to take time to reflect and actually just rest. Not even like reflect on decisions or businesses or business models or partnerships or anything like that, because that can be limiting beliefs. Like, I'm not good with partnerships. I always fail to do big things. I always like to stay small. I'm a creative. I'm an introvert. All these are beliefs, some which will serve you, some of them won't. So I just said, look, I'm just gonna rest. And my dad actually gave me a good tip, good advice. He said, sometimes when you go on a vacation, you really want to get bored even. So first you relax, you enjoy it, the nice weather, the pool, the beach, the great food, the company, the people around you. But then you just want to get bored. You're like, man, I have nothing to do, but I'm just going to sit in boredom. And that's new to me. Like for 7-8 years of running a business, running multiple businesses, I've never just been like someone who goes on vacation and just want to be bored. Like I remember being 5 weeks in Portugal and spending time with family, and we go to the pool, to the beach, and then when I get bored, I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna go do some work at the lounge in the the hotel. Nice 5-star hotel, beautiful environment. I felt creative and I wanted to do some work, which is fine. Maybe that was the season that I needed to do that. Now was the season of me saying I need to relax, just like get bored and do nothing. Like maybe even just eat a lot of ice cream and just like enjoy yourself for a week. Because it's not like the 1 week that matters to get to your results. It's the 51 other weeks of the year. It's like the 90%, not the 10% that you have your cheat meals. So I said, I'm just going to enjoy myself and relax this week. And then here's the craziest part. The headache, just before we left, on my first, I went on a boys trip, played golf, did some work, headache every single day, fever, what's it called, like a cold that I still have, and things weren't fun even though I was there. I just felt super sick. And then when I started resting, playing golf was fun, the discussion with my friends, everything that was fun, but overall I didn't enjoy my presence because I didn't feel like I felt burnt out. And so the first 3 days with my family, headache every single day, but I just kept resting and saying like, slow down, let it take its time. Some decisions and some like next moves, things that I'm getting now, like ideas that I'm getting now, what I want to do. I don't want to reveal it yet, but it has to do with like the freedom fast lane and not scaling big, but just like learning how to get to your goals faster and making sure that they're your goals, not someone else's, because you saw a Lambo, you saw a Richard Mille, you saw this entrepreneur in Dubai, you saw this one in US and this one in Puerto Rico, and you saw that they're making this much money, this guy is in crypto, your goals. And so in just surrendering completely and saying, hey, I'm not going to do anything this week, finally I lost my headache and I was back to feeling normal again. So that brings me to today. We got back from my trip a couple days ago and now I'm feeling better. A little bit of cold still, but feeling rested. I get a lot of ideas now, things that I want to do, things that I want to build. Has to do with Freedom Fastlane, and it's not a big like marketing play or promotion because I don't want to scale big. I want to optimize for Freedom Fastlane. How do you quit your job? How do you fire your boss and get to freedom using the fast lane? Because the slow lane is where you invest, for 50 years and you retire rich if you live. So you're old and then you're rich. Okay, great. I don't want money when I'm old. I want freedom when I'm young. Okay, and I'm 29. I turned 30 this year, which is still pretty young, in my opinion. I know business owners right now, you're watching this on YouTube, you're 17 and you're like 29. You're like a grandpa, which I get. So the good news for you is with Freedom Fastlane, what I want to do is create more free material. So we do have paid products and programs and access to me, and people pay for access, not information. We have certifications, we have all those things, but I'm just going to build for every industry. So like if you're an affiliate, here's plug and play stuff and it's free. If you're a course creator, here's exactly how to launch it using course funnels. Because I've worked with course creators. I'm an affiliate course creator, I'm coach, I'm a freelancer, I'm everything. And I love that about me. I have no labels, and you don't have to have labels. You can have 7 revenue streams, and that's good. That's freedom to me. My business kept running while I was gone, so I burnt out, but I was still making thousands, even per day sometimes. I got clients and I got them in DMs without calls, no meetings, canceled everything to rest, to feel free. And so the life that you want can be yours, but it cannot be yours if you only follow external influences, right? So you can have the life that you want, but not if you try to copy someone else. Because if you listen to your inner child, and this sounds a little bit like free your soul, but if you listen to your inner child, you already know what you want. And then you go and test that thesis and that idea of like what you want. And you might notice that I thought I just wanted $1 million and then I'd be happy. And you're like, actually what I really want is I want freedom and peace. So maybe you go on a spiritual journey. But what you don't have to do is you don't have to pile up trash so that you burn everything down to realize your lessons. You can be self-aware and listen to yourself and be sensitive to your inner child to be like, actually what I really love doing is just make $10,000 a month and live my life. Great. Or maybe you want to make $30,000 a month. That's, in my opinion, is like a really good place to be. $30,000 per month so you can help a couple of people around you as well. Because it's not just about you, but it has to be about you as well, because we have values, we have things that we have desires, we have goals, and we have these ambitions and visions, and we have gifts that we can share with the world. So to some extent, you're like, you need to actually serve people to make money, because that's business, value exchange. But then you don't have to go and scale to 100 or 1,000 people team and build $1 billion company to feel validated. And a lot of times these things come from our upbringings. And so for me, I just want freedom and impact. And that sounds so cheesy. It sounds like, oh, impact. But actually, like, nothing makes me more fulfilled than helping people. And the best way to start helping people is just by providing a lot of free value and free trainings, free resources, free tools, free templates, free everything. And then when people are like, hey, I really like this guy, I really want to work with this person, then we have offers where you can purchase it when you feel ready, not when you're like, oh, I'm feeling pressured into buying this because otherwise they're not going to help me. Otherwise they call me a brokey and a normie and they're not going to help me. No, that's a side tangent. Some people just, try to build themselves up by tearing other people down. Oh, you're a brokey, buy from me and you won't be a brokey. I don't know. I want to build a community where we just live lives that we're proud of. We become people that we actually respect. We become the best version of ourselves without the pressure of having to be there now. We do hard stuff because we want to grow, because we want to become that person who can also handle stuff in life. We want to build a business to have freedom and to also take care of our loved ones. They may not be as fortunate. They may not be as strong mentally, risk averse to build businesses. And so we can help those people by doing it. That's what I want to do. If that's you, please subscribe, follow the journey, and appreciate you for being here and listening. See you in the next one.